After altering the ship's course, Jules puts its radio system out of action. Passengers start to protest to Captain Detail, who is finally forced to explain why they have changed course. This new route is necessary, he says, because he has discovered that a group of Greek terrorists are planning to seize his cargo of weapons. At the very same moment, the crew of a Greek warship is trying to establish contact with the Genoa, but without success. When Detail sees the Greek ship approaching, he thinks he's being attacked by the terrorists, and he tries to outrun them by ordering full speed ahead. Just then, Jules and Julie, who now realize that they have taken the wrong action, decide to put things right by stopping the Genoa's engines. After firing a second warning salvo, the captain of the Greek warship decides to sink the Genoa.
Bring our guns to bear on the Genoa.
Very good, Captain. Stand by to fire. Attention, all crew members. Action stations. Aim cannons at the Genoa.
Prepare to fire, Butari.
Ready to fire, sir. Prepare to fire.
What I'd like to know is whether you two had anything at all to do with the ship's sudden change of course. And the radio and the engines, don't try to tell me that was mere chance.
Martin...
Let's be honest. I know very well you have certain powers, Jules. I've known you both since you were babies, so you don't need to lie to me.
what I mean to say is...
Hey, you, over there.
Huh?
What are you doing here?
Hide, kids, quick. Hello?
I asked you a question.
But I only wanted to have a look at the engine room.
Only crew members are allowed down here, so you better get out again. Right now.
All right, I'm going. There's no need to get so upset.
Gonzaga, what's going on? What do you think you're doing out there?
I found a passenger here, and I told him to get back with the others.
Forget the passengers. Stop wasting time. Come and give me a hand in the engine room.
Coming, Mr. Valenti.
That was a close one, Jules.
You're right there. We better get out of here.
What are you children doing here? Well?
Captain,
We were...
we were waiting to see you, Captain.
Why don't you two tell me what you are?
We call on the sixth of the seven powers to return the captain to his normal state of mind.
What on earth are you talking about? I feel rather strange.
Guns ready to fire, sir. The crew are waiting your orders.
Very well. In that case, you may give the order to open... Just a minute.
Captain, should we open fire?
What's that?
Do you want us to open fire on the Genoa, sir?
Open fire on the Genoa? No, wait a bit longer, Mr. Butari.
But Captain, it's...
I ordered you to wait, didn't I? Are you stupid or something?
No, I understand. Stand by, all crew. I repeat, stand by. Do not fire yet.
There's something very odd about that boat.
Why? What's happening?
The boat's just stopped where it is. They've cut the engines. They just seem to be sitting there motionless. I wish I knew why.
Feel better? It was the heat, I expect. Yes, must have been.
Maybe, but I can't remember why I came down here.
It was to find out why the engines had stopped, Captain.
There's a warship about to open fire on us, sir. A warship? Which warship is that?
The one you told us might have been taken over by Greek terrorists, Captain.
So we're being followed by a warship.
Yes, of course, sir, ever since we changed our course from Port Said.
Why on earth Port Said? Tell Bonacera to join me on the bridge immediately.
Hi, sir.
Immediately.
Mr. Bonacera to the bridge immediately. Captain's orders.
I'm quite exhausted from using the sixth power on the captain again. We'd better rest after all that effort.
I'm tired too, but we must stop that warship firing on us at all costs until the captain's able to contact them over the ship's radio. It's getting too dangerous. We've got to do something to buy some more time. Let's call the power. We call upon the power of the light.
Captain, look at that light! There's a fire!
It looks like a firework display. Or else some kind of signal. I can see children on board this ship, and they're waving to us.
But it could be a trap, Captain. Maybe they have forced those two children into distracting our attention, whilst they maneuver their boat into the best position to fire on us, sir.
Well, let's give them a few more seconds before we fire. After all, it may just be an Italian cargo ship in trouble.
Look, over there, Captain Stavros. I think that Genoa is trying to signal us. They want us to send over a boarding party.
Then that's exactly what we'll do. I'll go myself and see what it is they want. And if they try to attack us, you are to open fire on their boat immediately. No hesitation.
Very good, Captain.
After this, I want to sleep for days and days.
I'm afraid we haven't finished yet. Let's hope the captain won't get into too much trouble after what we did.
Honestly, I didn't mean to cause him any trouble, Julie.
And yet, that's exactly what you have done.
Giovanni!
So it looks like you did manage to prevent the Greek warship from attacking us.
Yes, but it wasn't easy, Giovanni, not at all. We had to use the power to put things back to what they should be. Now we're quite exhausted from summoning up the seventh power.
And all this happened because you used it just to benefit yourselves, without thinking or considering others, didn't you?
Yes.
I hope you understand now that having the power means you have to be more careful than most people.
I promise you we'll never do it again, Giovanni. I've learnt my lesson this time. And don't worry, I've learned to listen to my sister, too.
Well, let's hope it works out all right and Captain Detail doesn't get into trouble. It's not his fault.
Who are you?
I am Captain Stavros of the Greek Navy, and I request permission to come aboard your vessel, Captain.
You have my permission, Captain Stavros.
My men have confirmed that your radio is indeed out of action, Captain. As soon as they have completed a search of your vessel and we're certain you have no terrorists aboard, we'll get along a lot better.
I can assure you, sir, I alone am in control of this ship.
You may be, Captain, but if that is the case, you've got some explaining to do.
There's no one about. Do you feel better?
Yes, a little. But why is it so important to do this now?
Because we may not have the chance to do it later on, so let's get the engine started as quickly as we can. They mustn't
Yes.
find out what we did, huh? We call on the fifth of the seven powers to restore the engines to full working order now. There, we've done it.
Jules, I heard a noise. They're coming.
Well, you can see for yourself. There are no terrorists here.
And you say the engine's cut out without any warning?
Yes, that's the strange thing about it.
Better have another shot at it.
All right, then.
Jules, the engines are working again. We'll be burned to death if we stay here. We've got to get out right away.
Engine room. Aye, sir. We'll be right up.
Oh,
The captain wants us up on deck at once.
Up on deck, what a good idea. Let's join them.
It's like you said, Captain. You do appear to be in sole command of the ship. So please tell me why you didn't reply to our signals and nearly fired on us.
I've already told you that, Captain. I suspected that your boat might have been captured by terrorists.
What did you say? A likely story. And what if I suggested you had actually been planning to deliver your cargo of weapons to terrorists?
Ridiculous. I was just defending my ship and passengers against what I thought was a blatant act of hostility.
Well, if what you're saying is true, then all you have to do to prove it is to tell me how you came by the information that your boat was being chased by terrorists. Who gave you that information, Captain? Who? Who? You still haven't answered my question, Captain. I'm waiting. If you refuse to tell me who gave you that information, I will have no choice but to conclude that your intention was to deliver your ship's cargo of weapons to the terrorists yourself.
They're going to arrest the captain, Jules. You heard them.
Oh, no, this is all my fault. I've got to explain to them. I've just got to. No,
I'm afraid you can't do that.
Oh, it's you, Giovanni.
but I've got to do it. I can't allow them to arrest the captain.
No, I let you decide what ought to be done last time, but not this time, Jules.
But the captain will get arrested, and we're to blame.
You and Jules have a different destiny which you must fulfill. Captain Detail's fate rests in other hands now.
I'm still waiting for your answer, Captain.
Please wait a minute while I think. I can't remember. I had a kind of blackout when I went down to the engine room, and then after that, I...
Now what story are you concocting?
But it's the truth, sir. The captain really did lose consciousness for a few seconds in the engine room.
And you expect me to believe a story like that? Well, I'm afraid I don't. As far as I'm concerned, you have no answer. You leave me no choice but to arrest you immediately for attempting to smuggle arms.
Then you'll be arresting an innocent man. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Martin Garçon. I told the captain that we were being pursued by terrorists who wanted the cargo of arms.
I see. And how did you come by this so-called information, Mr. Garçon?
On the ship's radio. A few minutes before it broke down. Yes, some friends of mine in the French Secret Service passed the information to me. Captain Detail here has done nothing wrong. He acted as any responsible captain would have done in such circumstances.
That's exactly the way it happened. I'm a Greek war veteran, and I tell you on my word of honor that this man is innocent. And what's more, he risked everything to protect us because he believed that your ship was in terrorist hands.
Yeah,
I can vote for that. Yes, that's exactly the way I saw it.
Listening to you, anyone would think he was Alexander the Great. Oh, well, all these people can be wrong. Captain Detail, I salute you on behalf of the Greek government, and I thank you for your courageous action in defending your cargo of weapons and in protecting your passengers.
Well, now we know. It was Martin who was destined to save Captain Detail.
Not destined, Jules. Let's just say he found the power to do so.
What kind of power do you mean, Giovanni?
The power that's inside each one of us. The power that helps us to help others, even if it sometimes means taking risks.
The fact that the Empress Dowager has sent you the gold you requested must be a good sign, don't you think?
It simply means she wants the Twins of Destiny and is willing to pay a high price.
And has she also agreed then to your plan of sending more eunuchs to help you catch the twins?
Silence. Do you honestly believe that I'm proud of submitting a plan in which I'm forced to ask for assistance? In a task which I ought to have accomplished unaided? Z-men, load the baggage, then go with the others and follow behind us in the second carriage. And be quick about it. I can imagine General Zhang laughing out loud at us back in China. I can imagine, too, how he is slowly turning the Empress against me. That is why we must kill the twins.
But it's easier said than done. She ought to understand that.
There's only one thing to understand, Chan Man. If we are not able to destroy the twins, then we ourselves will be destroyed by the Empress Dowager.
I understand.
Give Z-Min as much gold as he thinks he will need. And tell him to buy the fastest sailing vessel he can find.
Of course. Anything you say.
And then this evening, we'll scour all the bars in this sordid neighborhood to try to find a crew of cutthroats willing to sail the ship for us.
But it may not be so easy to find such men.
I'm sure we'll manage.
Isn't it funny how quickly one's fate can change? This afternoon, Captain Detail was a hair's breadth away from being thrown into irons, and now he's been given a hero's welcome.
But he is a hero, Professor, and his only mistake was to listen to me when I told him that we were being followed, and by terrorists of all people.
And your only mistake, Martin, was to believe that I'd be stupid enough to swallow that yarn you spun for the captain of the Greek ship. I don't know what you three have been up to all this time, but I must say it intrigues me. Don't forget that I'm a man of science and an explorer, so I adore mysteries.
Well then, you'll come to adore these children, Professor, as I do myself.
Perhaps you'll confide in me one day, and finally explain to me why you're traveling to China. And what's more, I have no idea how Captain Detail might have been persuaded to change course.
Leopold is such a clever man. He doesn't miss much. He's great. I'm just very glad he's on our side.
Well, I can't say I'm sure about that. We've had plenty of nasty surprises on our way so far.
Don't you trust him then, Martin?
I don't trust anyone, and nor do you, in fact. You two kids only really trust each other,
Perhaps it's because we don't want you to take any unnecessary risks for us, Martin.
Well, I don't think it would be possible for me to take any more risk than I do. Oh, well, I've had quite enough adventures for one day. This evening, we're off to the celebrations, and I can tell you from past experience that you'll eat very well in Greece. And what's more, Greeks really know how to celebrate and give tourists a warm welcome.
I've heard that Greek women are some of the most beautiful in the Mediterranean.
Jules, really?
Ah, now that I do know something about, young fellow.
Well, I'm going to the cabin to make myself pretty before we go ashore. Honestly, men.
Huh.
Now hurry up and get these two onto the cart. Z-Men will take care of them on board. I don't think we need more than another two. I'll explain to them what we're looking for.
Seaman's got the boat. It's almost ready.
I'm sure it'll be a good one. His father was an excellent pirate, you know. This looks a good place to start recruiting. Let's go in. Fortune smiles on us. Two fellow Chinamen are about to join our crew.
I'd prefer a ship manned by Chinese to Greeks any day.
Good evening, brothers. How do you do?
My brother died years ago.
No, I just meant...
I know exactly what you meant. I don't make friends that easily.
We're all strangers here. It's natural for us to want to make contact with our fellow countrymen.
Well, perhaps you're right. I must have spent too long at sea.
Ah, so you're a sailor, are you?
Yeah, and have been ever since I could walk.
Well then, why not drink a toast to the sea?
Not in this place. The atmosphere's a little bit unhealthy.
There's another bar down the road. Which ship are you sailing with?
A French cargo boat.
Tell me, is it a good ship?
It isn't even fit for pigs.
Well, then, we better help you change ships, hadn't we? Come on. Now we'll broaden your education.
Careful, one false move and you get it.
Go on, then. Pull the trigger, why don't you? I'm waiting.
You don't need to worry. We'll join your ship anyway.
Huh? What? You'll come with us?
Yes, forget your clubs. We volunteer to come. In fact, we insist.
May I ask why?
I know what you're fishing for, and I believe the catch will be invaluable for the whole of China.
And what do you think we're fishing for?
The Twins of Destiny.
I don't believe it. How did you know that? Answer me at once.
This is a small port. You'll find news spreads very fast, especially news about a Chinaman buying a fast ship.
You still haven't answered my question, so tell me, what do you know?
In every port I pass through, I met eunuchs offering rewards for news concerning certain children called the Twins of Destiny. Then I hear tell there are eunuchs in town and they're looking for a boat. Not hard to guess.
What do you hope to gain from joining us?
It's easy to hit drunks on the head and then drag them off to the boat. But are you really sure you can trust them? I plan to work for a share of the reward.
What do you think, Chanman? All right, go down to the harbor and ask for Z Min. Tell him Po Dung sent you. Keep that one under careful surveillance.
Is there something about him that worries you then, Po Dung?
Yes, I'm sure I've seen him somewhere else, but I can't quite remember where at the moment. So I want him to be watched until I can.
This is madness, Kong Li. You do know who that was?
Yes, it was Po Dung, chief eunuch of the Empress Dowager.
And the two of us wanted for high treason against the Empress Dowager.
When you're hiding from wolves, the best hiding place is often inside the wolf's den.
And what if they recognize us?
If we had been, we'd already be winging our way to join our ancestors in the Celestial Palace. You once spared my life, Executioner, so I shall protect yours until such time as we accomplish our task. You have my word.
Madness, utter madness.
The twins, Martin and Professor Ledoux, are about to disembark in Greece. There they will enjoy a well-earned rest. But it may not last for long. Make sure you don't miss the next episode of their extraordinary adventures. Jules and Julie Tournier, the Twins of Destiny, whilst on their way to China to find their fathers, board a car